usually don't have much like professional training or finalized training. And that's the hard part. I mean, that's unfortunately the way the industry is going too. It's harder and harder to find horses that you can learn from instead of your teaching. It's very unfortunate, but that's part of the, I mean, it's part of the means of where things are going with, yeah, I mean, if you don't own your own horse, it's hard. My God, these dogs. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, and you run into the issue of like, if a horse needs like medical maintenance or whatnot, I would put leg on him and tell him, hey, move your hips off of me. Don't lay on me like this, right? Because he's a draft horse. He likes to push into people at times. One of the things to keep in mind is if you ask him to do something and he goes this way, we can say, okay, then we're going to circle this way. And just make it into a smaller, a little bit of a lead rein driven circle to keep him moving off of your hand and off of your body, but increasing the energy as you do it. So, and again, this will keep you in a thought of where's my pelvis? Where am I helping him move through the body frame? Give him a little touch, a little bump. If we need to, we'll grab the whip if he's being a little lazy. But we'll see where things go. I have it for you here if you need it, but I didn't need it the other day. I'm kind of glad I didn't have it because I probably would have used it on him a time or two because he was being very resistant the other day, but he ended very nicely. But you can tell that he's just had one too many people trying to pull on his mouth too much. So he's getting into that whole, I'm going to lean and resist. But again, back to what you're wanting to work on, really, that's, you know, the light, Jessica moved, who only knows. But nicely done, just, sitting still and keeping yourself level. Give him a little bump, tell him to walk on. Who knows? If you want to shave the corner over there a little bit, because that sunlight does come in very bright and it's blinding, especially coming towards it, it can blind you and your horse quite a bit. So if you want to shave kind of this edge off for right now, just because of the time of day it is, that's perfectly fine with me. Not avoiding it by any means, but it literally blinds you. That's why I'm not sitting there. Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, both ends, because it's coming through the windows just right. So we can stay in a general, like, before F and before M. We'll stay on this kind of general area here. We'll stay on a 40-meter size instead of more of a 30-meter size instead of a 40. Good boy. So outside aid support, turn through the pelvis, give him a little bump, bump. Being very conscious that we're looking to ask him lightly and softly and to get a response so that you don't override. And like I said, if you notice that you're feeling the need to kick harder and to move your hips too much, then absolutely, you can take the whip by all means. It's we want you to ride with more responsive positivity than him being resistant and you getting harder and more aggressive. Go ahead and do a half circle, change your direction. Good boy. He was a lot of fun once he got his butt together. Good. A little bump, bump, bump. There you go. And like I said, being very move through the hands, move through the hips, move through the body frame, making sure you're feeling him actually giving you a response. The one thing I noticed too is he's been a little resistant to soften the jaw. So I did a lot of manipulation of the rein to kind of soften his jaw and relax him. He's obviously, built like a draft horse, so his neck is a little U-shaped and he kind of lays this way. Him coming up is harder, but it is possible. So I want you to really keep in mind that we're not looking for him to tuck under and to give us a double chin and to cut off his circulation, but we're looking for him to engage the hindquarters, lift the shoulder, and come through the body frame. So, his head will come into a better frame once he's moving under you with a little bit more agility. Good boy. Okay, a little bump, bump, bump again. Tell him to walk on a little stronger. Good boy. There you go. Good. Good boy. Okay, and let's halt. Good, nicely done, nice and balanced. Good, and you look nice and neutral through your pelvis here, so we're gonna go ahead and continue on. Again, keeping that swing through the pelvis, sit tall, sit back. Don't try to come at him, but sit back, let him come through you. Walking on. Good. There you go. And paying attention to that swing through the lower back. Feel your chest rise and fall in the walk. One thing to keep in mind, if you have a tendency to pitch forward a little because of your previous history of a lot of hunter jumper work, people who have a long history of hunter jumper work especially, and maybe haven't really thought about how to use their core more appropriately, the tendency is to be here, right? So what I want you to keep in mind is if you're perching forward even a little bit, your chest won't rise and fall in that walk. If you're swinging through your pelvis correctly, your chest will you'll feel yourself swing this way, and you rise and you fall, and you rise and fall. You'll feel your head nod a little bit, because as your shoulders start to move and you swing through the pelvis, it comes up in a waving action through the whole body. So those are little things to keep in mind. Mom, I put all of them out but Rosie's. Good boy. Okay. Does that make sense what I'm saying there? And are you feeling it? Did you notice you went, oh, wait a minute. I don't feel that moving. Hold on a second. Oh, there it is. Yeah. Right? Good job. Yeah. Well, and it's controlled movement, right? It's like watching a ballerina. They look really effortless and poised and flowy and all the things, but you know damn well they're up there doing a lot of work, right? And it's the same thing with your riding. Like if you sat there like a porcelain doll, then you're not going to be functional for your animal's progressive movement, right? And you are on a moving object, so you do have to have fluidity there. This is better, much better. When you're ready, let's go ahead and ask him to go into a working jog. So we're going to stay sitting for right now because we're going to work on a little bit more connection. So let's go ahead and do a couple big circles, because like I said, what I noticed with him Saturday was when I asked him to go into the trot, he was like, yeah, sure, okay. But then the minute I started asking him to circle and turn and bend around me, he got very kind of flat and resistant. So give him a little bump there, sit tall, sit back. Good, relax the seat, let everything move a little bit. And we're gonna go ahead, let's actually go ahead and do like a figure eight. So we'll turn a little bit in front of M and H, circle around me, down across your E and B line, change direction, turn before F and K. There you go. And I want you to think, open that door, turn the body frame. Make it 2 circular movements and not a diagonal movement. Because what we want to see here and what we want to encourage is you staying balanced and supple with him, but also that he's curling and curving around you. Now remember too, especially with your background, you're used to turning your head to look at courses and jumps, right? You turn your head with the intention of not turning your body that dramatically. But I want you to really hone in on the fact that I want you to think, my eyeballs in my head turns my hips, okay? So staying a little bit more focused right in front of you, don't overturn your head. Almost act like your head's in a neck brace. Do a full circle around me this time. Remember, your inside leg is the wall or the pole that he wraps around. Your outside thigh turns him. Be careful your inside leg isn't bumping and kicking to turn his haunches, because that's not actually what happens, right? You can swing your leg dramatically back and help him yield his haunches away some, but your leg on the inside doesn't kick to turn him. Turn through the hip, turn through the thigh. There you go, outside rein. Change your direction this time. Good, sit tall, sit back, let that chest rise and fall again. There you go. Really making sure that you're thinking lift through my body frame. Be careful that you don't allow your belly button to drip and fall downward, because that's when you get that arch in your back that will cause pain. Do an extra circle there. Open that inside hand way out just to keep your hip rotating and turning. Outside thigh turns him. Good. Step to the inside seat just a little bit as we turn and rotate. Good. Let your head move. Roll your head around a little bit. Let everything get a little off the bobble there. There we go. Good boy. Change your direction again. Really remembering it's so much better for you to start your lesson with more mobility and then bring yourself through. Are we going to poop or are we just gas powered? I think we're going to go ahead and poop. Oh my.